Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. Like I was telling you guys in yesterday's vlog, it's weird that again it's both days on the weekend and I didn't have a grocery haul for you guys since we got everything done earlier in the week. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of weird, but I ended up kind of sleeping in late today because I got up so early yesterday, and then even though I went to bed not super early on Friday night, woke up early on Saturday so that we could just go to Aldi yesterday. But again, too, that was because I didn't share with you guys the grocery haul from Aldi. But we ended up, like I said, going there. So I was up early yesterday and then ended up going to bed like late last night, even though I was so tired. But for some reason I was like, I just don't want to get up and like go to bed. Like I was in my bed and I didn't want to get up to go and take a shower and like get my clothes together and like do all that. So it took me a while to actually go to bed last night. So then I ended up waking up late today. So that's why I ended up paying for it today. But guys, the thing is that it is like, okay, not just, it's actually warming up a little bit. It's been a little bit warmer. It's funny too, I was actually asking my dad, I was like, I know it's supposed to rain this week. Is there a good day where we could maybe grill? Because you guys know I got those hamburgers, I got brats, I have like more grilling stuff I feel like in the freezer than I have like other dinners, and we haven't grilled a lot recently, obviously, because it's been -14, -30 degrees. I don't even know, whatever it was like last week and stuff like that. But you know, because it's been so cold, obviously we haven't grilled, and you know, really since the winter we haven't really grilled that much. I think we did the steaks for New Year's Day or New Year's Eve or whatever it was, but we didn't end up doing, you know, like I said before that, maybe November was like the last time we grilled. But again too, if there's a day where it's gonna be like 40 degrees, we might grill outside, you know. So but the thing is, it is supposed to rain this week, so I was like, so it's going to be warm enough this week if it's raining that maybe we can grill. But it's not supposed to. It's supposed to, the only days that are going to be warm are the days when it's raining, so we probably are not going to be like, hey, let's try and grill in the rain and while it's cold outside. So instead, what I'm actually going to do is just cook the brats inside and cook them in the oven, but like do the same thing like I normally, because with brats we normally do like beer brats, so we'll cook them on the stove in beer first and then end up grilling them. But instead we're gonna do them in the oven, which I've never done before, so like I said, I don't really know, but it'll be pretty much like having them from on the grill and everything. So anyways, like I said, I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't even know if I have to do that. I think too, you might just be able to, like if you do aluminum foil, you may be able to just cook them in like what's it called, like a baking dish or something like that. Again, I'd have to look up a couple of recipes and try it out, and my mom might have cooked them that way, so I can find out from her like how she would do them if we were going to. But we're gonna do them at some point later in the week. I know that that's something we have a lot of, and I was like, I need to start using these up, because I know as soon as spring rolls around and it gets warm outside, it's like 50 degrees consistently, I'm probably gonna be like, we're gonna have to grill like brats and hamburgers probably twice a week because we just have so many, which again too is not a bad thing. But I rather, again too, like especially brats, like hamburgers are a little bit tough to do, we don't have quite as many of those, but like especially with the brats, it's like we can really figure out some way to use them up, and like the sausages and stuff like that. So anyways, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit warmer next week, which is nice. However, guys, my hands have been so dry. I honestly think it's because, like, I don't know, I wash my hands so many times throughout the day. Like, the thing that's frustrating to me too is that I will wash my hands like in the kitchen. Like, okay, if I was doing laundry and like I got like laundry detergent on my hands, I will go and wash my hands in the kitchen. Then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom literally like 2 minutes later, and then I wash my hands again. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat something. So then like 5 minutes after that, I go and wash my hands again. Like, I'm consistently like washing my hands, it seems like, all the time. Like, instead of planning things out, like, okay, if I just washed my hands after I just did this, now I'm gonna eat something, like, you know, instead of like being like, okay, and then like 20 minutes later my hands are dirty again, like, you know, because I've been doing something. Like if I was like upstairs feeding the guinea pigs and playing with them or something like that, then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna go and eat. And if it was like 10 minutes earlier, I just washed my hands, and then I'm deciding that I'm going to eat something, so I need to wash them again, and then like, yeah, it's just, it's my hands are so dry and it is horrible. They are like burning too. Like it's from, and my dad just said the same thing too. He's like, my hands have been so like cracked recently. And my dad has like, I think he has eczema, I don't know, maybe, but like his hands get really, really dry and really cracked. And like it's really bad. Like when his hands, if he's like outside a lot and he doesn't wear gloves and they're like exposed to the cold air, his hands get so dried and cracked. Like when I was little too, like I remember his hands were always cracked all the time when I was little. Like I mean it was like really bad. And like again too, as a little kid I was like, I didn't understand like why it was like that, and I was just like, your hands are all like red, and like, you know, again too, sometimes they crack so bad that they like bleed and stuff like that. And so it was, I remember my dad's hands being like really bad. But again too, since then he's taken a lot of more precautions, wears like gloves when he goes outside, ends up, you know, again too, using lotion and stuff like that a lot more. And too, the thing is that my mom seems like she never wears gloves outside ever when she goes out. Like again too, even if she's just going to run errands or whatever, like she never wears gloves and her hands are never that dry. But I feel like it's the same too, like my dad, it's the same way as like for me, like my hands get really dry and really cracked, and it doesn't help, like I said, that I probably wash them like 50 times a day. So again too, like our hard water, like it's not helping my skin either. And like just to like showering and stuff like that, like my skin, all of my skin is dry, my hands specifically, but like everything is just dry. Like I have to use moisturizer on my face 2 or 3 times a day at least, because my face is very dry as well. It's like 20 times worse in the winter too than like again in the summer. Like in the summer I don't have to as much, and it's not that, you know, it doesn't affect me that much. But also too, because like when I go to wash my hands, the other bigger problem is that normally the water, it's also very cold when it comes out of the faucet. Like, you know, again, I'm not going to stand there and wait like 5 minutes for it to warm up. Normally I just wash my hands really quick, and the water when it first comes out, it's just really cold. And so I feel like too, it's just the cold from the sink and the sink water, and then also too like the hard water, and because it's dry, it's just, it's not a good mix and combination and stuff like that. So my hands have been really bad lately, and like I said, they're very dry, and I've been trying to moisturize as many times. Like as soon as I wash my hands, then I go and moisturize. But like on top of that too though, like I don't want to eat something and like if I put lotion on. So like if I wash my hands and then go and eat, I don't want to eat with lotion on my hands. Like, you know, again too, if I'm eating something like popcorn, like I'm not gonna want to have lotion on my hands while I'm eating popcorn, and then them, you know, again too, just being like sticky and oily and, you know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't want to have my popcorn taste like lavender lotion. So you know, like I said, I try to do it as much as I can, but they're still not very good. And it's also too weird because when I'm using like cold water, but then like yesterday when I was in the shower, they were like burning because it was hot water. And I mean, not hot water, but you know, warm water. And so it was also not good either. So it's like, it's weird. I can't use cold water because my hands and my skin is like affected by the cold, but I also can't use warm water because it dries my skin out so much worse too. So I can't find a happy medium right now. And like water right now in the winter is just my worst enemy. And so anyways though, like I said, I'm just happy that it's at least going to be a little bit warmer. Maybe things will be a little bit better right now. But like my lips are dry, like, and I again too have been using like lip balm and, you know, that kind of stuff too, because it's just, my skin in general is not very happy with the cold weather. But the good thing is that I did get a lot of stuff done for today, even though again I didn't get up super early and we were watching like the football games and stuff like that today, which it's getting closer to being the Super Bowl, guys. Like it's gonna be the Super Bowl soon, and so far there's a couple teams that I'm still rooting for that are like in the playoffs, but a handful of teams. Actually, I think both the teams that I kind of wanted to win today didn't win. It's funny though, because the first game I was rooting for one team maybe more than the other, but I kind of didn't care, like, you know. So and then today, the later game today was not who I wanted to win, and yeah, I don't know. I'm, like I said, there's a couple teams that are still kind of in it for me that I'm hoping go to the Super Bowl, but you know, they're maybe not my favorite team, but they're teams that like I definitely want over a different team that's in it or whatever, but you know, there's only 2 games next week, and then I think it's the Pro Bowl, and then I think the following week after that, because we're down to only 4 teams. So I think next week, like I said, is the you know, to see who goes to the Super Bowl, then it's the Pro Bowl the following week, then it's the Super Bowl after that. And I think the way it works now, because the they added an extra game to the NFL season, I think the last year or two, it's almost always fallen like on the week or right before like Valentine's Day. So I think that's how it's going to happen again this year, because I used to always plan like Super Bowl and then Valentine's Day was after, you know, the week after that. Now they fall on like the same week, or they did for I think like at least last year, and I think the year before that as well. And I think one year the Super Bowl was on Valentine's Day. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that, but it's like, this is really weird. Like, how do you celebrate, like, you know, again too, because we do like fun things for Valentine's Day. We'll do like you know, like treats, like we might do like food themed something or whatever, kind of like for Valentine's Day. But it's hard to do that when you're also doing the Super Bowl at the same time. So we'll do like Super Bowl themed something food for like, again, our snacks and appetizers or whatever and that kind of stuff for the Super Bowl, but then it was like Valentine's Day on the same day. So that is interesting. I'm gonna have to check to see what like I said, weekend that falls on Valentine's Day, if it is right near the Super Bowl, because like I said, I think that we're getting very, very close now. I think it's 3 weeks out. So anyways, we did end up doing that, but on top of it too, I also ended up setting up my planner and also set out my vitamins for this week, which, guys, too, my vitamins, I think since the start of the year, almost, at least ever since I kind of got my room cleaned up and organized, at least, I've taken my vitamins every single day, and I've not forgotten or like missed a day or like skipped a day because I forgot or something like that. So it's been really good. Like, I've not been that diligent about making sure that I don't forget and making sure that I take like my vitamins every single day. It's because everything's like organized, so it's like easier for me to kind of like get to them, just, I don't know, just remember them too, because they kind of stand out, like, you know, they're not just among other cluttered things. They don't get lost on like, you know, my table full of other stuff. You know, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can't forget to take them. And also too, it is that thing about like, you know, once you start doing something for so many days, it becomes a habit. Like now it's like weird, I'm like, oh, I haven't taken my vitamins yet. Like I remember that I didn't take them, instead of just being like, oh, I forgot. You know, it'll be like by midday and I'll be like, I haven't taken them yet, and so I remember to actually take them. But again too, I did get other stuff done as well. Like I did dishes and I did laundry, and I ended up also doing a little bit of editing today. So I did end up getting to a couple other things too, even though like I said, I got up a little bit later. But again, got to some things that, you know, in between kind of watching the football games today as well. But I'm going to take a shower and get to bed. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe. And I'll see y'all very soon, shiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.